And then also Jordan Poole and also Steph Curry had some great moves during the entire game. But I have a question. Do you think Jonathan Kuminga or Moses Moody is a better fit or like a better player for the Warriors?
I think right now the answer to that question, Owen, and thanks for the call. I think it's Moody right now. That's just me. I think, but it depends on the position. I mean, they're two different players that play two different positions. Although at times, I think the Warriors would tell you Kuminga's a wing. Although I think Kuminga's more of a big. But I think Moody is more versatile right now, offensively, more steady in terms of his 3-point shot, and just less mistake prone. So I get it. They want to give Kuminga opportunities to play. I think him being in the rotation at the start of the year is Steve Kerr trying to reward hard work. But I know both of those guys are going to play a lot. But right now, I think Moody's ahead of Kuminga as far as wing minutes go. Kuminga's ahead of Moody as far as being a big. But I think if you're going to compare the two, I mean, they do play different positions. They're just different players. But I would be more inclined, looking at the roster composition of the Warriors, to be given more minutes to Moody as a steady hand and more of a consistent shooter than to Kuminga. If you had to pick one or the other, I know Steve Kerr tonight, though, went the other way. And look, we're talking about the difference between 13 minutes and 7 minutes, but Steve Kerr had Kuminga in the rotation and Moody as the 11th man, or Kuminga ahead of him at this point. But I think that's going to evolve. I think there's going to be times where Kuminga's behind Moody, Moody's ahead of Kuminga, and they're both going to end up playing an awful lot of minutes. 888-957-9570. We'll go ahead and pause here. We'll come back. We still have time for some more phone calls. We'll hear from the head coach of the Warriors, Steve Kerr, as well as Jordan Poole, as we'll keep this thing rolling all the way up until midnight as the Warriors beat the Lakers tonight, 123-109. You heard it right here on 95.7 The Game.
At Lowe's, every pro is an MVP to us. That's why MVP's rewards members can earn bonus points on select products from brands like DeWalt, Purdy paint applicators, and GRK screws. Then redeem your bonus points for exciting rewards like tools, grills, Lowe's gift cards, and more. Join Lowe's MVP's Pro Rewards today to start earning. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Subject to program terms. While supplies last. Visit Lowe's.com/MVP's bonus points for details. Now through 10/28.
Navien tankless water heaters, the proven leader in condensing technology. Request a Navien because you deserve the best in endless hot water delivery. Learn about Navien's condensing tankless water heaters and find a Navien contractor at tanklessmadesimple.com.
Count on Navien.
Finding the right Medicare plan? Oof, no easy feat. Kind of like those dances my granddaughter loves making me do. But then I found Walgreens FindRx coverage. Lets you compare plans online, over the phone, or in person. Made Medicare shopping so easy. Plus, I found plans with low-cost copays. I can get down with that. Medicare annual enrollment ends December 7th. Find a plan that's right for you at walgreens.com/Medicare.
Doug. Hey, listener. Welcome to Limu's Karaoke Lounge, where Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need, and the music never stops. Hit it.
There's an emu with a full-time job. His partner's Doug, but Limu's the heartthrob. Grubs and worms, that's what Limu eats. Gotta fuel up to save you money and hit the streets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Anywhere fans go to cheer on their team, there are behind-the-scenes MVPs, ensuring everything is game day ready. We see you, Joe, fixing seats so every fan can enjoy every game. And Allie, who keeps her stadium running smoothly from the moment the first game starts to the last play of the season. At Grainger, you're our MVPs, and we're always here for you with supplies and solutions for every industry and 24/7 customer support. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Locked On Warriors is a daily podcast covering your favorite team, the defending world champion Golden State Warriors. I'm your host, Cyrus Softas, and every Monday through Friday, Locked On Warriors brings you all of the biggest Warriors stories in around 30 minutes. We cover Stephen Curry and the dynasty that is one of the greatest teams in the history of this beautiful game. Listen to the Locked On Warriors podcast every day on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
If you own a business, this has been a bumpy ride. From pandemic to inflation, I'm sure you could use a break. If your business has 5 or more employees and survived COVID, you might be eligible to receive a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. The challenge is getting your hands on it. Hi, I'm Howard Mackler, and that's why I founded GetRefunds.com to cut through the red tape and get you the money. The team of tax attorneys we have put together are highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program. We do all the work, charge not a dime up front, and simply share a percentage of the cash that we get for you. Businesses of all types can qualify, including those that took PPP, nonprofits, and even those that had increases in sales. We have helped return over $1 billion to businesses, and we can help you too. Just go to getrefunds.com/sports, click on Qualify Me, and answer a few questions. This payroll tax refund is only available for a limited period of time. Don't lose out on up to $26,000 per employee. Go to getrefunds.com/sports. That's getrefunds.com/sports.
Hey, Santa Clara County sports fans. The new Omicron booster is here and available for everyone 12 and older. Remember that kids can get really sick with COVID, and the effects can be serious and long-term. You can't be at the top of your game when you're super fatigued. So keep your athletes safe this fall and winter with this important booster. And of course, wear a high-quality mask whenever you're inside with lots of people. Visit sccfreevax.org or call 211 to make your booster appointment. Stay healthy and stay in the game.
It's Joe Shasky from the Morning Roast. And if you're an independent restaurateur or are starting a brand new business, then you gotta know about my friends at Trimark. Trimark, making independent restaurateurs' dreams come true in Northern California for over 55 years. Whether you're designing your next restaurant or you need equipment and supplies, this is where Trimark comes in. They do it all. And what's most important to them is being a partner to their business customers. Visit TrimarkWest.com. That's TrimarkWest.com.
There's a lifetime of beautiful outdoor living waiting for you at Dolan's. It's fiber-on decking for easy, carefree living. Why choose this durable composite? There's an amazing choice of colors. The rich look of multi-chromatic exotic hardwood. It resists splintering, rotting, and cracking with really low maintenance. See the colors and learn more at DolanLumber.com. See the real fiber-on at Dolan's Home Improvement Centers.
COVID-19 moves fast, and now you can too. If you feel symptoms, even if they're mild, you should test fast. Test positive and at high risk for severe COVID-19? Then act fast with authorized oral treatments that can be taken at home and must be taken within 5 days from when symptoms begin. COVID-19 moves fast, and now you can too by asking your healthcare provider if an oral treatment is right for you. Learn about a treatment option at treatcv19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
I had a nighttime routine for my frequent heartburn. I would drink milk, I would sleep upright with more pillows, but that painful burning stayed. So I made Prilosec OTC part of my morning routine. With just one pill in the morning, Prilosec OTC prevents excess acid production, blocking heartburn day and night. Now I have a new nighttime routine. I call it sleeping.
One pill, 24 hours, zero heartburn. With Prilosec OTC. It's possible while taking Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
Now back to Warriors Wrap Up on 95.7 The Game.
John Dickinson back in Chase Center. Warriors beat the Lakers 123-109 as the Dubs also get their championship rings. The banner looking up to my left right now in the bowl here at Chase Center, that 2021-22 championship banner hanging down now with three of its friends going back to the 14-15, 16-17, and 17-18 banners now all just hanging right there in front of Section 201 inside Chase Center. And what a night it was as the Warriors dispatch of the Lakers, and just a mismatch, to be honest. in this one. LeBron and Anthony Davis doing their thing, scoring some points, but a lot of meaningless points in this one. It felt like for them, a lot of stat padding going on in this one with the Warriors for the most part having their way. Lakers getting back in it a little bit, Warriors pushing it back out, and ultimately it adds up to a 123-109 victory in favor of the Warriors. 888-957-9570. We'll keep it rolling here another 20 minutes or so as we get you closer to midnight. And we'll also hear from Steve Kerr coming up momentarily, but still time to sneak in some calls as I get to a couple of text messages here on the Xfinity mobile text line from the 415, and addressed this a little bit earlier in the show. Hey, JD, only 7 minutes for Moody, only 13 minutes for Kuminga. Kerr played DiVincenzo and JaMychal Green over 20 minutes each. Does the team really want to give more minutes to players who are on one-year deals over players that are the future? I hope that's not the start of a trend. Appreciate Jaden checking in from the 415. It's not only the start of a trend, but that's just reality at this point. And talked a little bit about it in the first segment. Jordan Poole, Dante DiVincenzo, Jordan Poole is the sixth man and the leader of the bench and somebody that's going to be starting a lot and a key part of this team moving forward. But JaMychal Green and Dante DiVincenzo are the veteran glue, and those are players that the Warriors are going to lean on this year. And, I've talked about it a lot these last couple of weeks. That's the top 8 for the Warriors. If you want to say Steph and Clay and Draymond and Wiggins and Looney, there's your starting 5, Poole 6. 7, 8 in the Warriors rotation are DiVincenzo and JaMychal Green. Some combination of that. It's 7, 8 for those two, and then Wiseman is the backup big, 9, and then you start to get into Kuminga tonight was 10, and Moody was 11. And I think what happens when Andre Iguodala comes back on a night where he's playing? That tells you right there that Moody and or Kuminga aren't going to play, probably at all on those nights. Although I don't think there will be too many of those nights where Iguodala is going to be playing. But that's where there is the fine line between wanting to win now and needing those veteran bench players, or at least more experienced bench players, because Dante DiVincenzo is a pretty young player in his own right at this point. But that's how this team was built, to have those two able to play and to allow for Kuminga and Moody to get minutes, but also to have to earn their minutes. I think the good part about the way this thing is built is you can play DiVincenzo with Poole, you could play DiVincenzo with Curry. I think you could play DiVincenzo with Klay Thompson. So they're not. You could play DiVincenzo with Moody even if you wanted to in the backcourt. But what I'm getting at is DiVincenzo doesn't prevent anybody else necessarily from being on the floor. Now JaMychal Green, who you have to almost look at him as he's the Otto Porter role for this year. And Otto Porter played a lot. And Otto Porter was playing in every playoff game where he was healthy, and he was playing a lot of minutes. So I think that's something that, if you were expecting it to be flipped, shame on you at this point. But I do think, and Steve Kerr laid this out, and we'll hear from him here in just a moment, I do think that it's set up for, JaMychal Green's going to get nights off like Otto Porter did, because JaMychal Green's 32 years old. And there are going to be opportunities when Klay Thompson gets a night off for Moody to play more. And Jordan Poole will go into the starting lineup. They'll need another guard, and Moody will get minutes in that fashion. So on the nights, though, where they have everybody, Moody and Kuminga are probably the two that are going to suffer as far as playing fewer minutes. 510, the difference in depth and talent between the Lakers and Warriors is crazy. Yeah, once you get beyond LeBron and Anthony Davis and even Westbrook, who can be a net negative for significant chunks, it's Patrick Beverley and Lonnie Walker, and then a bunch of Austin Reeves and Kendrick Nunn and JTA and Wenyen Gabriel. That is not an overly talented team beyond the top really 2 or 3, and Westbrook has been a net negative for the last few years. So the 925, checking in here before we hear from Steve Kerr, and we appreciate it on the Xfinity mobile text line. I think this year is going to be hard on Kuminga because he wants to be one of, quote, the guys. You could see him as the game went on. I'm going to be the one to shoot. He wants to be a bigger part of the offense. And look, the things that are going to get Jonathan Kuminga on the floor are the other things. But to the observation, I'm with you. Like, I think Jonathan Kuminga looks at where he was drafted. I think Jonathan Kuminga looks at the other players that were drafted in front of him and even behind him, and all of these dudes are playing a lot of minutes on bad teams for the most part. And I think he does look at, because he's a talented kid, Steph and Clay and Draymond and Wiggins and this championship team that's ready to run it back, and I think he looks at himself as, hey, I'm the next most talented guy, Jordan Poole, and I'm the next most talented guy, and he may be the next most talented guy, but that has to manifest itself in ways where he can play in the context of a specific role and be effective. He has to fit his game in the box of 13 to 15 minutes a game and be effective. And if he can't do that, then he isn't going to get as many opportunities. It's not just a matter of get out there and play your 25, 30 minutes and you're going to get your time and you're going to get free reign to do whatever you want. So 888-957-9570. Let's go ahead and hear from the head coach of the Warriors, Steve Kerr, as he addressed the media following this one as the Warriors get the win over the Lakers.
Steve looked a little sludgy there for a while, maybe for most of this. So you chalk that up to first game, ring ceremony, a little delays. How do you kind of describe what happened out there?
I mean, I'm thrilled with the win, and ring night is never an easy game, and the first game of the season is usually filled with some nerves, early on, and then I think because Clay and Draymond were limiting their minutes to try to get them over the hump here the next couple of weeks. Probably threw a little bit of a wrench in the rotation, and we haven't had much rhythm with. You saw that we had Clay out there early fourth with the group. They hadn't played together, and you could kind of tell. So we're not where we need to be, but we took care of business. It's a great win in front of our fans. Ring night. I think all of our guys should go home and be really happy and get a good night's sleep.
You went 11 deep, partly because of the conditioning, but also because you have 11 rotation guys. How would you compare, I know it's early, but how would you compare the depth you potentially have on this team to past teams?
I think it reminds me of 14, 15, although the depth is younger. But, 14, 15, we had games where we didn't play Sean Livingston. We didn't play Leandro Barbosa. They both had a couple of stretches in that season where they either played very limited minutes or didn't play at all. We had, really major depth at the center spot with Mo Spates and David Lee and Bogut and Festus and Draymond. So it reminds me a lot of just the talent level. That team was veteran. We had veterans. This team, it's young guys, but the talent is really obvious.
Steve, what do you make of Steph and LeBron still playing at this level at this point of their career? I mean, they're still doing it.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. It's two guys who are so committed to the game, to their health, their skill set. It's remarkable. They both make it look so easy too. But this didn't really happen a whole lot 20, 30 years ago. I think we're smarter now. The players have more knowledge at their fingertips. We have we provide a lot more resources to help players out. They look for stuff on their own. And it seems like you've got a lot more players now who are playing at a really high level at an age that used to be considered, sort of the end of the line.
Steve, what did it mean to everybody to see Wiseman back in a game that counted and just what he was able to do, contributing on both ends and really crashing the boards? Yeah, it was great. It was really fun to see James out there. He's had a fantastic lead up to the season, summer league, training camp, been in the gym every day,
for the last few months, well before camp. So James has put in the work, and I'm really excited for him. He's gone through a lot, so nice to see him back out on the court.
A little, yeah, you played him, I think, for 11 plus minutes stint there in the first half. Was that planned, or did he earn extra minutes? And how did you think he and Kuminga, you had them both on the floor pretty much every time they were out there? How did that work tonight?
Yeah, it was planned. And, I thought they did fine. We saw stretches in the preseason where they really got going. But preseason is preseason. This is different. It's opening night. It's the only game being played, national TV. You could see the nerves. James is a really good foul shooter, and he went 0 for 4. That was strictly nerves in my mind. I thought JK was pressing a little bit. And then in the second half, I didn't love the way the second half went. We had a really good third quarter, but we got a little disjointed in the fourth, and it didn't allow for those guys to come back in until really late. So it wasn't a perfect night for them, but they did a good job, and they're continuing to grow.
Only 7 minutes for Moses tonight. We know he was banged up on Friday, so was that by design tonight, or was just kind of how the rotation played out?
We have a lot of guys. If we're healthy, we can go really deep, and it's rare to play 11 guys in a rotation, but Moses will play plenty this year. We're not going to be healthy for 82 games. It's going to be lots of opportunities for him and for our other young guys. But what I told the team yesterday is that, because of our depth, certain nights aren't going to go your way, and you just got to keep your head up and keep going, and your chance will come.
Is there a position, like one more than the other, that you think has more depth on this team? Like, is it the 2-guard, center?
I think we're pretty evenly distributed in terms of our depth. I really like this roster and like our team. I think we're going to get a lot better, and I'm really excited for the year.
Steve, Steph missed 6 of his first 7 shots, his first 5 threes, and you look up and he's got 16, 5, and 4 at halftime, and he ends with 33. How much you think about him like 5 years ago compared to now? It seems like when his shot's not falling, like tonight he got to the line a bunch. He kind of creatively drove around guys. I mean, how does he adapt maybe better than he used to when his shot's not falling?
I think he's physically stronger. The last couple of years he's just looked physically stronger than he looked to me, early on when I first coached him. And so I think he's able to get to the rim, draw more contact, get to the line, finish better. So he's improved in all those areas.
Coach Jordan had some nice passes tonight. One stood out to Draymond, but he was just there was a flurry there, I think, in the second quarter where he was just kind of dishing. What'd you think of him, especially as a facilitator?
Yeah, that's what makes Jordan a really exciting young player, is that he can score, he can distribute. He had 7 assists. He can play on or off the ball. He complements Steph really well. Jordan proved, last year how good he is, and we're going to need him big time. He's going to play a huge role for us.
Along with that, do you expect him to have kind of more control of the offense at times? I mean, regardless of the lineup.
Yeah. I mean, I think especially when he's out there with the second unit, we're going to run a lot of pick and roll. James is going to be out there diving to the rim. We've got kind of a different look that we can show based on the vertical threat that James presents. And Jordan and Dante together, they both run that pick and roll really well. And so you'll see a lot of that.
We keep coming up with lineups where Looney's out, but he's a plus 30 tonight. Has he become essential to the things that maybe long ago he did, but has he become even more a fundamental part of the things you have to the lineups and the rosters you put together?
He's just really good. The first thing I said to the coaches when I looked at the box score, it's like perfect Kevon Looney line. He's, I think he had like 6 points, and what did he have? 7 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, plus 30. Like he just, he doesn't score a lot. But he's smart, he's tough, he's in the right spot all the time. He creates advantages with his screening. Fantastic defensively. He's just a winner.
Hey, Steve, how did this ring night compare to the other ones, and what were kind of your personal highlights?
I honestly don't remember a lot of detail about ring nights in the past. I couldn't even tell you who we played, over the last few times. They're all fantastic. The one thing I noticed is they're handing out medallions now. They're not rings. They're like medallions. I don't know how anybody can put that on their finger, but Raymond probably will. Raymond's that kind of a guy.
Well, I'll tell you who you played, Steve Kerr, because we talked about it on Warriors Live before the game. Warriors now 3-1 in the 4 ring nights in the Steve Kerr era here, going back to 2014-15 and that first championship, and now the 4th in 8 years. So the Warriors beat the Lakers tonight, 123-109. In 2018, they beat Oklahoma City 108-100. In 2017, they lost at Oracle to Houston 122-121. And in 2015, they beat the Pelicans 111-95. So Warriors now 3-1 on the 4 ring nights over the course here of the last, what would that be, 7 years, I guess, on the calendar, 8 seasons, 3-1. And now the Warriors winning, that's 3 out of the last 4 for the defending champion, winning on their ring night, with the Lakers in 2020 being the lone team in the last 4. Toronto and Milwaukee both won in 19 and 21. The Warriors get the win in this one tonight, as well as they beat the Lakers. 888-957-9570. Let's go ahead and hear from Jordan Poole before we call it a night here. Poole, nice night for him, 12 points. In this one, struggled shooting the ball, but he's going to be a big key to this Warriors bench over the course of the season. Here's JP.
How does the depth on this team compare to you to what it has been?
There's a lot of guys who know how to play basketball. We had a really good team last year, mixing our vets with some new guys. We got a little bit of a different team, but being able just to trust everybody, go out there, make the right plays from the top of the lineup to the bottom. That's huge.
Jordan, how would you assess this team's depth at guard compared to last year?
Got Dante, and then Moses has been playing really well. Still, obviously, having Steph and Clay in the backcourt. I mean, I feel like we got depth. I mean, we're learning, and we got a couple guys from the team last year, so just finding ways to get better.
Last season, you started as a starter when Clay was still working his way back, and with other various injuries, you were in and out, but now you were the clear anchor of that second unit. Are you excited for that role? How do you feel about being that anchor, that bridge between starters and bench?
I'm just happy to be out there playing, to be honest. Wherever I'm needed, whether it's first unit, second unit, being a bridge, closing quarters, closing games. As long as I'm out there impacting the game, that really matters.
Jordan, can you share with us what was on your mind when you got that ring tonight?
I'm just really excited just to kind of see it, be a part of something so special, something so historic. It was an amazing ring, a beautiful ring. So everybody who worked so hard on that, credit to them. And it was just a really dope opportunity.
Obviously, you guys are known for your guys' third quarter flurries. What do you think kind of led to that tonight and the difference from the first half to the second half?
Just kind of figuring it out, slowing the game down a little bit, getting our legs under us, getting our chemistry a little bit. We take the first half to kind of see how they're guarding us, and it's really hard to kind of chase us and, play our read and react game all game long. So the third quarter is where we normally try to make a run, kind of stretch out the game, open it up a little bit, but just looking for our shots, trying to make the right plays, be efficient, be aggressive.
And then Andrew made 4 3-pointers, had some step back 3-pointers as well. What have you seen from him as far as his evolution as a 3-point shooter?
Wiggs is in the lab all summer working on the shots that you saw tonight. So he'll have a really big year, and it just makes him even more of a threat to be able to see him create shots on the perimeter and knock it down how he did tonight.
Jordan, 10 days ago, Draymond, when he apologized, he said that there would be an elephant in the room tonight. I'm just wondering, did anything feel awkward, or do you feel like healing has happened?
Yeah, I mean, we went out there. We had a job to do tonight to win a game. It was a ring night, and that's really what we were focused on, to finish in the first game. It was a huge win against a really good team, and the season started, so we got a game in a couple of days.
You and Wiseman had a couple nice pick and roll action there. How is that working? How is that chemistry with James going? How does it feel to get a couple of those in this game?
It feels good. Daily process. Just being able just to kind of find the chemistry and find the ways that we can really be aggressive in that pick and roll, and, trying to get our timing right. Screens, angles, plays, hitting the pocket, trying to see where he likes the ball. So, I mean, it'll take a little bit of time to get adjusted to it, but he's doing an amazing job. And we watch a lot of film, so it's going to be really exciting to see us doing the pick and roll.
Jordan, back here, as great a shooter as Steph is, what do you learn from watching him when his shot's not dropping? I mean, he missed his first 5 threes tonight, and you look up at halftime, and he still got 16, 5, and 4, and kind of finding ways to get to the line. I'm curious, as a kind of similar player, what you gain from watching him play in those situations.
To be aggressive at all times of the game. The shots that you normally take, the shots that you practice, the shots that are open, you take those. If you made 5 or you miss 5, continue to be aggressive. I mean, it's what makes our team special. They have to guard so much. So Steph being able to be aggressive, myself, Clay, other guys on this team just never lose the confidence and then keep hooping, and they'll eventually drop.
There was a play Steph made in the third quarter where he sprint the length of the floor, popped out to the wing on the right side, set his feet, let it go, knocked it down. As a shooter yourself, how hard it was, like the degree of difficulty on that shot?
It's definitely something you have to practice. Countless hours go into it. I mean, but after you do so many reps and, has so much repetition on one shot, it starts to feel like a normal shot, game shot. I've seen him do it so many times, and we practiced it so many times. Him obviously longer because he's been in the league longer. So for him, it just looks like a normal shot, but the degree of difficulty is up there. But obviously, you just got to practice that.
Hey Jordan, looks like you and Juan had some fun on that loose ball, and you guys had the jump ball. What was that like to compete against him, and just how would you describe your relationship?
It was good to see Juan today. We've been so competitive since day one. That's my brother. So just being able just to go back to our practice days, the days that we had open gym. He's a scrappy player. Goes 100% all the time, and I know that. So just diving on a loose ball, and I knew he wouldn't let the ball go. He had a better grip on the ball than I did, though. So it was just really cool to kind of be in that moment. Kind of, it was a little bit nostalgic. So I'm gonna try to win a jump ball next time.
With the scorer you are, how much pride do you also take in a night like tonight where you had points and you also dished out 7 assists and made things happen? I mean, are those the games that you appreciate a lot?
Yeah. Just doing my job, being a primary ball handler. I know that I'll get a lot of attention as a scorer out there on the court. So just trying to get my teammates and my guys in easy situations to score the ball, get them going early. I know I can be aggressive all night. I know how to find my shots. So just trying to get the others acclimated, to the system. Give them the confidence to, shoot shots, be themselves, especially some of our new players or guys that are playing with us, for the first time. Just kind of build their confidence, build the chemistry. We'll need them all season. And, my job out here is to play make as well as scoring, get my teammates easy shots and try to put them in easy situations. So it's probably something that I'll be doing all year, but still trying to find ways to be aggressive and scoring the ball.
Kind of mentioned that. How much more control and freedom do you feel like you have in this offense than you did last regular season, mostly because of what you did in the playoffs?
The coaches and staff have kind of given me the free reign to kind of just play, whether that's being extremely aggressive offensively, getting up shots, or just trying to get in the paint, make a play, whether it's a shot, whether it's a driving kick. They got a lot of faith in me to make the right decisions, make my teammates in really good situations. So, it just comes with it. It's a really good challenge, really good task to be able to be a part of, and I'm excited.
All right, so Jordan Poole excited. A lot of reasons to be excited for Jordan Poole, getting that first ring, getting a nice little payday that's going to kick in a year from now, and this team being set up as well as any to go back-to-back and defend their title. So that'll do it for us. Warriors get the win tonight over the Lakers, 1-0 on the season. Couple of days off for the Dubs to reset, and then the games start coming every other day here for a while, beginning on Friday night when they take on the Denver Nuggets. All right, that'll do it. I'm John Dickinson. Thanks to Sterling Bennett. Thanks to Chris O'Connell. Thanks to Cam Williams. Also, John Thomas Lucan in our San Francisco studios for cutting up all the highlights and producing this fine program over the course of the last hour. I'll be back with you on Friday with Warriors Live right here from Chase Center, 6 o'clock. Warriors and the Nuggets, game number 2 of 82. And you will hear it all right here on your home for Warriors basketball. 95-7 the game. Dubs beat the Lakers tonight, 123-109. Good night.
Cordelia RV is your trusted recreational vehicle dealer. With over 40 years experience and one of the largest inventories in Northern California, you are sure to find the perfect RV to fit your lifestyle. Start your adventure today. Visit CordeliaRV.com.
Dub Nation, This is JP here.
Poole straightens up another three, and he is red hot right now. He can feel it.
You are dialed into the home of the Warriors.
Jordan Poole way downtown for Jordan Poole.
95.7 The Game.
Okay, 3 more climbers, 7 loggers.
Ted's sustainably sourced logging company is growing a new branch.
What about truck driver contracts?
Which means a new HR manager will be the first hire to fall.
Then we'll need to staff up